Welcome back to These Things Are Written on this Monday. Glad that you're joining me. And before we continue, I wanted to let you know that the rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday, I will not be doing These Things Are Written. I'm going to be out of the office doing some training. It's been busy. I haven't been able to prepare beforehand. So we're going to take pretty much a week off. And a week from today, we will be back again, starting on the 27th. And we'll go until we finish 1 Corinthians. And then I think we're going to be looking partially at the book of Proverbs. Let's start with verses 1 through 5. For I do not want you to be unaware, brothers, that our fathers were all under the cloud and all passed through the sea. And all were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. And all ate the same spiritual food, and all drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank from the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. Nevertheless, most of them, God was not pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. He gives a little bit of a history of the wilderness wandering here, right? And he continues to kind of connect the next section with it as well. And as he does this, he connects it to Christ. He uses Christian imagery to show what was going on as they were wandering in the wilderness. He talks to them that they were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. This baptism, they were passing through the waters and through that saving act that God did through passing through the seas, much as God saves us in our baptism. And then it talks about they drank from the spiritual rock, the rock that from which water flowed, and that rock was Christ. Jesus is the rock, he says, that was there with them in the wilderness, giving them that water to drink. And yet, even though God revealed himself in many ways, he says, yet they were overthrown, many were overthrown in the wilderness. They were put to death in the wilderness because of their lack of faith. Let's continue now, verses 6 through 13. Now these things took place as an example to us, that we might not desire evil as they did. Do not be idolaters, as some of them were. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. We must not indulge in sexual immorality, as some of them did, and 23,000 fell in a single day. We must not put Christ to the test, as some of them did, and were destroyed by serpents, nor grumble, as some of them did, and were destroyed by the destroyer. Now these things happened to them as an example, but they were written down for our instruction, on whom the end of the ages has come. Therefore, let anyone who thinks that he stands take heed lest he fall. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it. He points out that there were, as they were going through the wilderness, there were idolaters, those who practiced sexual immorality, those who put God to the test, those who grumbled against God. And what happened to them? They were often put to death. They were struck down. Why would God strike them down? Moses says it's for our example, to show us of how we are to walk in the faith and how we are not to walk. We are not to walk as idolaters, sexual immoral people, testing Christ and grumbling against God. Instead, we are to trust in him and follow him, that God will help us through the temptation. He will provide a way to escape. He will provide his Spirit to help us endure. We are to trust him, not in ourselves. Trust him for our deliverance that we need. And when we fail, trust in his Spirit. Trust in his forgiveness, I should say. Following his Spirit, that God may lead us to new life. Remember, the rest of this week, I'll be taking a break, but we will start back a week from today. We'll see you then. God bless.